Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Daily Lessons Podcast. This is going to be episode number 19. And today we're going to be talking about how you probably are just having a bad day and you probably don't have a bad life in general, okay? Now, here are the things that I kind of want to talk about and I want to touch on. And I want to focus on one sentence in particular as well. Life is about 10% of what actually happens to you and about 90% of how you react to it. Now, that's a quote that I saw from Reddit, but I do, for the most part, agree with it. Now, I'm going to give some examples that I feel like everybody can relate to when it comes to something like this, right? Especially in terms of like having a bad day or just in general thinking that you have a bad life, because I feel like a lot of people suffer from that mindset. Now, imagine this. You're on traffic, you're cruising down the highway, and then somebody cuts you off, in whether it's traffic or not, or whatever the case might be, and you're angry about it and you're frustrated about it. You honk your horn and you're just cussing at the guy, you're road raging as well, and like the guy's just like speeding across or like minding his own business. He's like, yeah, whatever, this guy, I just cut off a loser, right? What ends up happening to us is that we take that one moment and we build so much anger and we harbor it inside of our hearts. We cuss at the person, we do all sorts of things, we say all sorts of things, and we try plotting our revenge somehow, right? That's essentially what ends up happening. So that 1 second of, you having a bad moment, obviously rightfully so, like you're angry about it, right? Like you could have lost your life, you could have wrecked your car, like you could have gotten into an accident. Anything could have happened in that split second that somebody decided to cut you off in traffic, right? But what ends up happening is that even after that moment is over, even after our commute is over, and we've gotten to our destination, whether that be work or we're hanging out with friends after work, we always say to ourselves, like, man, some idiot just completely ruined my day for cutting me off in traffic, right? We go into work thinking that, oh my God, I had like a terrible start to the day and today is just going to go terrible as well. Or if we're hanging out with our friends after work, we're like, oh man, I had such a good day at work and like some idiot decided to cut me off in traffic and now I feel miserable about it. Like what a douchebag, what an idiot. And we're just constantly cursing at the person, right? And we're letting that ruin our day. Now, I know I for sure have suffered from something like this. Like I've let a split second and a split moment just ruin my day for absolutely no reason, right? Like the guy probably just continued on with his life that cut me off and he's just going about his life. Why am I still holding on to this hatred and this anger like a burning hot coal in my hand? There's no point. There's no benefit to me as well. While my anger was justified at the moment that the person cut me off in traffic, it's no longer justified anymore, right? Like you cannot let that one particular moment or second of somebody cutting you off in traffic ruin your entire workday. That is with you. That is the 90% of how you react to that situation, and the 1 second of that somebody cutting you off is that 10% of life that actually just happens to you. Okay, so whereas your anger is going to be justifiable, there's no point in holding on to it because it's literally not doing you any benefit and it's not hurting anybody else either. I promise you, the person that cut you off in traffic does not care how you feel about it. You're not damaging anybody except for yourself for harboring that anger and harboring that hate inside of your heart. Your reaction to it ruined nobody else's day except for your own. Okay? And I love to say this because I love to use this analogy in general because it really just shows something that pretty much everybody like experiences if you drive at all. And something so small and something so minuscule, we end up ruining our day because of it. We just dwell on the fact that, like, man, how did this person do this to me? And I am just completely plotting my revenge, which literally, if you really think about it, you're probably never going to get revenge on that person. Like, let's be honest with ourselves, right? And even if you did come face to face with it, what good is it going to do for you? You're probably going to exchange a few words, cuss each other out. Maybe it'll come to swings. All right, cool. Do you feel better about yourself? Do you feel more of a man? Do you feel, powerful now? You probably won't. Like, the moment is gone. There's no point in harboring hatred towards another person just because they cut you off in traffic. Like, bro, some people are just terrible drivers, right? I know this. I live in a city with a lot of terrible drivers, trust me. Now, you happen to be in control of your reaction to these events, right? Things will always happen. These types of events are always going to happen to you, but you need to make sure that your reaction is up to par, okay? You need to make sure that you handle these life events, and the reaction that you should get out of it is always with patience and with care, and you have thought things through, okay? Even if it takes you a split second of like, man, is it really worth it to, harbor hate inside of my heart for this person? All right, cool, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. Maybe at the moment, like, it's just like honking at the person who cut you off in traffic. Just show them like, hey, man, you messed up really bad. Like, it could have been pretty bad, right? But that is it. What's the point of harboring and carrying on with that hatred and just cussing that person out even when they cannot even hear it in the first place? Is there any point to it? No, but your reaction is dictating how you perceive those life events and how life is actually going to happen to you, right? You're either a victim or you're in control in life. At least for me, it's very black and white, right? Things are going to happen to you that make you a victim, but after a while, you're responsible for your own happiness and you need to make sure that you're good, right? So, and again, it goes back to the concept of the 10-90 rule, which is life is only 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to the events that happen to you. So make sure whenever you have something that happens to you, you're in control, and make sure you understand that and make sure your reactions are the best, honestly. And I promise you, if something ever happens in your life and you handle it with the patience and the care and the maturity that you need to, I promise you, you're going to, for years on end, you will go and look back at that one particular moment and feel so proud of yourself and feel so fulfilled of like, man, I really handled that with the utmost dignity. I can say that personally, like, it's very true. Like, I look back at certain life events that happened and I'm like, yeah, I handled that pretty well. And I hope that the same is going to happen to you. And the one last thing I want to leave with you is this. This is just something that I wrote up as well. And I think that it's very true, and I hope that you internalize it and you find it valuable. And if you find it valuable, of course, leave a like on this video and make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's all that I ask for you to do. Not all this content, I'm putting it out there, but it's not for free. The only price that you actually have to pay is just hitting that subscribe button. That's it. That is the only price tag that my videos have on them. Okay? Here it is. It's not a bad moment. It's just a bad moment. It's not a bad day. AKA, hey, it was just a bad moment of when somebody cut you off in traffic. That doesn't necessarily mean that you need to let it ruin your entire day, okay? It's just a bad day. It's not a bad week. You had a bad day at work? All right, cool. Move on to the next time, right? Tuesday comes around, you're not going to have a bad day. You're going to actually accomplish some things. Don't make it a bad week. You remember, you control how you react to things and what happens in your life as well. It's just a bad week, and it's not a bad month. And it's just a bad month. It's not a bad year. And it's just a bad year. It's not a bad life. Okay? Even if you're having a absolutely terrible year, like the year is just filled with life events that have torn you down and like torn you from inside and out, always remember that the tide can change at any given time. It's just a bad year, and it's not necessarily a bad life in general, okay? Things will get better, but just make sure to control your reactions to life in general, okay? I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it valuable. And yeah, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is Yusha, your host, signing off. Take care, guys. I'll see you guys in the next episode.